Elden Ring. You've probably heard about this game from a friend, or seen gameplay on YouTube or TikTok, or watched one of thousands of creators stream this on Twitch. This game has been amassing more than hundreds of thousands of viewers on Twitch, surpassing any game right now on Twitch since the game has came out. And there's a reason for this big surge of popularity around this game. And that's because this game is addicting. I mean, really addicting. I myself have already surpassed over 25 hours in this game in the past week, which is rookie numbers compared to what some of these people have been playing. A lot of my friends have gotten this game and they've been having a blast with it, and in this video I'll be giving you first impressions of this game because, to be quite frank with you guys, this game can easily surpass 100 hours. Honestly, a couple hundred hours, especially if you're trying to 100% complete it. This first impressions is coming from somebody who's never played a Souls game in their life. Never played Dark Souls, I've never played Bloodborne or Sekiro, no game from FromSoftware. So I think that will offer a different perspective because a lot of people that do reviews or first impressions of this game already have an idea of kind of how the boss system works, fighting, dodging, parrying, the rune system, everything like that. So this is completely like a clean slate. I've never played any game like this, so I'm going to be trying to give you guys the most honest first impressions so that you guys can decide whether or not you guys are going to be interested in this game, because it does have a hefty price tag of $60, which in my opinion is worth it for what you're getting, but other people, it does take more deciding. So hopefully I can help you guys make that decision by the end of this video, so make sure to stick to the end of the video. Also, if you guys want to see more videos like this, make sure to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you guys can get my next uploads. And with that being said, let's get into it. Okay, so first, let me explain what the game is. So if you guys have never played a Dark Souls game, pretty much it's just a game known, there's a story, and it's a game known for being very, very difficult. There are people that have picked up the game years ago and still have not beat the game because it's super, super difficult. It's not impossible, it's just very, very hard. The bosses are very complex, and honestly, I've never seen more interesting and fascinating boss fights in any other game. They pretty much took Dark Souls and made it open world and expanded this 10 times. That is what Elden Ring is. There are over 100 bosses in this game, including story bosses, side bosses, mini bosses, everything. There are thousands of places to explore, biomes, underground places, everything you guys can imagine. It is an amazing game. Not only, in my opinion, is the world beautiful and the enemies beautiful, there's so many different types of enemies and everything, but there's so many things you can do in this game. There are hundreds of different armors, weapons, tools, anything you can imagine, and they give you freedom. Elden Ring does not hold your hand. They don't tell you what you should be doing. They let you go into the world. They'll give you a quick tutorial, going through kind of how to attack, how to parry, dodge, things like that. You kill a very easy boss and boom, the whole world is yours to explore. And some people don't like that. They want to, kind of get their hand held a little bit because they don't know where to go. And I agree with you. But I think having that kind of choice to do whatever you want is very, very liberating. And honestly, it's something you don't find quite often in other games. But a quick solution to this is if you do want to kind of know where the next step is, because this game doesn't really have a linear progression system, and I was kind of getting lost because exploring is fun and all, but at the end of the day, you want to know what's the next boss I can fight, the next weapon I can find. YouTube is an amazing source for you guys. There are thousands of videos out there that are telling you how to find this sword, how to beat this boss, next things to do after defeating this boss, etc. And without YouTube, I don't know where I would have been. And if you don't mind getting spoiled, it's definitely a good source. Now, one thing that is not appealing to some people is the difficulty. People say this game is impossible or it's too difficult, and it's not. It really isn't. People have already beaten this game multiple times, and the cool thing about this game is you can beat any boss from the base things you have. Some of them will take forever to do because you will be doing no damage, but technically you can beat every boss with the starting gear you have. All this other armor and weapons is to help you defeat the bosses a little bit easier. Now, nonetheless, you could have the most overpowered stuff. Especially the ending bosses, they're going to be very hard. And a lot of people just don't like that. They want an easy game. But the difficulty of it is honestly one of the best parts in my opinion. Yes, it's going to make you rage. You can look at rage compilations on YouTube of countless Twitch streamers raging their butt off. But slowly progressing through bosses, right, where you're learning their moves, and every time you're getting a step closer to defeating them, that's what's great. And when you get to the point where you can finally defeat the boss and you get that loot and you progress further into the game, that is one of the most satisfying experiences of this game. Getting frustrated over a boss because you think you should be able to defeat it, and slowly you progress and you defeat it, that is one of the best parts of the game. And people complain that it's hard, but challenge is something that I enjoy. I think almost any gamer should enjoy challenges. It shouldn't be an easy game. Nonetheless, this game is one of those games that I legit could play all day and still not get bored, because there's that many things to do. And FromSoftware has put so much time and effort into this game. There have been times where I got through a castle because I defeated the main boss, thought I defeated every enemy I saw, and there were still other mini bosses in secret places in that castle that I didn't know of. There are secret passageways, secret tunnels that are in this game that is completely astounding, like how much effort that FromSoftware put in this game. This game has had years in the making, and honestly, it shows. It has so much hype around it, and honestly, I think it surpassed that hype because it's such a great and amazing game. And I think it definitely appeals to a larger audience because it's open world and it has other aspects of it, which isn't exactly just a typical Souls game. And that's why people aren't used to the difficulty. But in my opinion, that difficulty is one of the best parts of the game. Another thing I love about the game is the map. The map is huge with a variety of cities, mobs, weapons, and things to look for. And when you think you discovered all the map, boom, another portion of the map gets revealed to you. It honestly feels like it's never ending. Like there's so much to explore, so many things to find, so many weapons to collect, and so many bosses to defeat. And that's one of the best things about the game. I also like how in the beginning of the game, you make your character and you pick your class. There's a variety of classes to choose from, all with different stats. But what I do like is that if you do choose a class and, a couple hours in, you realize, oh, I don't actually want this class. I want a different class. That's okay. You can start to upgrade your stats in the direction that you want your class. And after a certain boss is defeated, you can actually reset your stats and go completely in the direction of the class you want. There are armor supporting each class, boosting different stats, and you can kind of go whatever path you want. I can start off as a samurai, and then later on decide I want to be a knight, and then after that decide I want to be a mage, and that's honestly fine because you can reset, you can upgrade your stats in the way you want, and honestly, it's pretty flexible in terms of what class you want to pick. Something that I also like about the game that's going to please a lot of collectors and myself is that you can collect anything you see. Whatever you see on the ground, you can pick it up. For me, people say that the inventory, there is a certain cap on it. I have picked up everything I have seen, and I do not see any cap associated with that whatsoever. But there also is, if there is a cap that you reach, there is a chest that you can put anything in, which you can always access at any time, which is really great. And there's no weight load. The only things that affect your weight is your equipment stuff in your immediate equipment section. So things like your armor, your weapons, your talismans, things associated with that, those all have stats that show you the weight. They could either be light load, medium load, or heavy load. And obviously if you pass the medium or the heavy load, you'll be rolling slower, running slower, etc. So you can play out however you want that. And you can either always unequip stuff to make your load go less, or you could always upgrade your endurance, which would increase your weight threshold, and also your stamina, which means that you can equip heavier things and still be under that medium or light load, and you could roll, dodge, run faster, etc. I also like, this is something not too important for a lot of people, but for me and some people out there, they really enjoy. I like how the armor and the weapons look cool. Obviously, just weapons out there and armor that are bland, but at least there's something to look forward to in the end game. There's a lot of cool armor that are have cool effects or elements, or they just look cool, that are honestly amazing. There's amazing weapons, amazing spells that look sick. You can make your dude all fire and have all fire spells and a fire sword. You can do an ice class, ice spells, ice armor, ice sword, and you could also do a lightning build. There's so many different types of builds and classes that you can pick from and make your character customized to you. Less health, more strength, faster speed, less strength, things like that. You can customize it the way you want it. There's two different types of magics as well, faith and arcane, and they each have different types of spells that you can choose from. And also something I like is that you could always do, after beating the game, which would take ages, you could always do a new game plus, go with a different class, try to get a different ending. Like for me, since I killed a couple NPCs that I probably shouldn't have killed, I do eventually, after beating the game, which would take me ages, I do eventually want to start again and not kill the NPCs this time and try to get a different ending to the story and I think that'd be something really fun. And I also, the second try, I'd probably take my time with it and honestly just have fun with it. Like, I'm definitely grinding hard this time, just trying to get through the story, trying to beat every boss, trying to get every weapon, which is really fun. But maybe next time I'll take it a little bit slower and just kind of enjoy the game even a little bit more, although I am enjoying it a lot now. Just kind of take it at a different pace. But overall, this game has amazing customizability. The maps, the bosses have such cool and unique abilities, like each one. It's honestly amazing. And something I noticed is that a lot of other games that I play, like with bosses and stuff, a lot of times they do attacks and like it glitches through walls, or like they'll hit, like for example, they'll have a sword and they'll swing their sword, you dodge it, and you know, the sword will go through a little bit through the wall. This game, the hit box is so amazing. Like, the bosses will, if they use an ability, they'll either break the wall itself, like everything will crumble, or the sword will hit the wall and it'll have like a banging sound and it'll stop right there. Like, there isn't anything, like I have never seen one bug yet. The only thing that I can complain about are like some performance issues on PC, or sometimes your FPS will spike, things like that, but they're working on that, and that's a little patch. Like, that can be fixed like very easily. But I have not seen one glitch or anything like that, like any enemy getting TP through a wall, any enemy getting stuck in the ground, where I can see that in a lot of other games. I have not seen that at all, which is honestly very surprising, where they release a game and it has such little bugs. Like, it's honestly crazy that they can do that first try. Now, overall, if you guys want me to give you guys a rating out of 10, I would honestly give it an 11. Like, I'm not even kidding. It's so good, and I am not used to playing games like this. I have a friend who usually plays multiplayer FPS just like me. He thought he wasn't gonna like the game, but I'm telling you, once you defeat your first boss, you're gonna get hooked. Like, you're gonna want to defeat everything you see. You're gonna want to get completely overpowered with amazing armor and weapons and things like that. You are gonna want to explore every part of the game, and it's just honestly, it's a breathtaking journey. It's honestly really amazing. I've never played one game like this, and it's definitely gonna go down, in my opinion, one of the best games that I have ever played, hands down. Now, if you guys enjoyed that video, make sure you guys like, subscribe, turn on post notification. You know, I can do different videos eventually. Hopefully I can do some tips or tricks how to get certain armors or weapons in the game. If you guys do want to see, you know, kind of like a let's play little thing, although I did start the game already, I'm not even close to defeating it or beating the game at all. So if you guys want to see me defeat certain bosses or just have a blast exploring the world, let me know. I do plan on streaming the game eventually, just kind of chilling and talking with viewers and etc. I do have a Twitch, will be linked in the description. And yeah, with that being said, have a great rest of your day wherever you guys are, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace out.